How you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing good.
Good. What's going on?
How's it going?
Everything's
good.
good.
Mr. Breitling?
Bernie manages Siegfried and Roy, one of the most successful acts ever in the history of Las Vegas. And Bernie had an idea for a show.
I'd like to talk to you about an entertainer that I manage by the name of Downtown Gordie Brown.
What does he do? He sings, dances?
Yeah, he's a very well-rounded entertainer. You know, to talk about what he does is really not what it's about. Seeing him is what it's about.
As you know, that showroom is so intimate. It's got to be someone that just has pure talent. You can't get up on that stage and really not be able to entertain. Do you have anything that you can show us?
I don't want to show you anything. The best thing is for you to see him live, and then that will convince you that he's your guy.
Something that I'd like to consider. So maybe we can talk about it over the next couple of weeks, Joe. And
you don't have a couple weeks, Mr. Leone. You know, the window of opportunity for this is pretty much this meeting.
Well, I mean, obviously, if we're going to do something at this pace, Tom, we need to bring Tim into the loop to obviously see, because this is a little quicker trigger than we would have anticipated.
Actually, we had anticipated sitting together, all of us. And,
yeah, I know. Let me grab Tim. I apologize for him not being here, Bernie.
Yeah, I was very disappointed about that.
Let me grab him and see if he's available. Tim? Bernie wants to see you. He's given us like the ultimatum. He wants us to sign a deal to see Gordie Brown like today, or he's gonna let it go. Really, he really feels.
Well, I don't understand why.
He's upset that you weren't in that meeting.
But why? It had nothing to do with me.
It was on your calendar, and he wanted to have you in the meeting.
It had nothing to do with me.
Because Tim, he's a big-time manager, and he wanted to pitch you on this guy.
Yeah, but it's your thing. We sat through countless pitches and looked at all these different shows, and they were just so terrible. We were becoming exasperated because we were wondering if we were ever going to get anything even halfway decent. I mean, it was just the most frustrating thing.
Bernie has a show. I really don't know anything about the show because Bernie won't tell me anything about the show. But other than the fact that the guy's extremely talented.
What does the guy do?
He's a one-man show. He's a multifaceted entertainer.
Do you have a tape?
I'm not going to show you a tape.
Well, there's no tape?
I much prefer that you see him live, then you can evaluate.
Oh, I'll go see him live, but you know, just so like I have an idea of what he's about. Is there a tape?
Well, I pretty much described to you what he's about. He's a one-man show that's very captivating. He could do great for you guys.
If you tell me he's great, I'm sure he's great, but I just, mostly now out of curiosity, I'd like to see a tape of him.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you anything. The only thing I'll show you is Gordie Brown live on stage. You know, what I recommend is that we put him in the theater, you guys come and see his show, and let's consider that the first night of a one-year deal.
I normally wouldn't put an act on our stage without seeing something first. But I have no problem risking that, you know, obviously with Bernie's reputation. So if you guys are up to it.
We need to get someone in there. I'm tired of not having an act. Let's just do it.
Right. All right. Well, you guys work out the details. I'm open to it, and I think it would be.
We're going to live up to your expectation.
We'll find a day. We'll do, as Bernie says, the opening night of a one-year deal.
And I'm anxious to see it. I really am.
Bernie is my main man.
Thank you. Deal.
After we met with Gordie Brown's manager, we were hopeful, but, you know, we still had to look for an act because we didn't know if the show was going to be any good.
Make it happen, Mr. Leone.
All right, get it together.
This better be good.
I know. I'm nervous.
We've seen a lot of crap. This is the only one I haven't seen. I'm nervous as hell. I mean, this show sucks. I'm like gonna sneak out the back door. I'll be so embarrassed.
These scallops are great.
These are really good.
I hope the show is as good as the scallops.
I gotta go.
You. Bernie would not bring in a bad act. Thank you, guys.
But we were under a lot of pressure, too, because, you know, you can't have a casino without a show. Oh, I eat too much.
Oh, boy. Stay positive, man. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. We basically have put all our eggs in this basket right now with Gordie Brown.
What about yet?
This decision is definitely a multi-million-dollar decision, and we just gave it a deep breath and said, we hope that Gordie Brown's good, because where do we go next if Gordie's no good?
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Downtown Gordie Brown!
Good evening, how are we doing? And Willie Nelson, we know what happened, lost it all. It was his financial advisor, Forrest Gump. I'm not good at math. Stupid is as stupid does. You can't afford a box of chocolates.
It started off a little slow. I looked at Tim and I was like, okay, because he was getting a warm up. He was, you know, like he was kind of getting into a routine.
Should have hired like the Rain Man. Rain Man would have warned him. Yeah, you're $20,467,384.13 in debt. Yeah, that's right. Trust me, I'm an excellent counter. Yeah.
After the first few minutes, this guy was on fire. Everybody was laughing, people were cheering, people were standing up. It worked.
Rich Little is here tonight, and he's very Ladies and gentlemen, I followed Gordie's career, and I think, and obviously you all do from tonight's performance, that Gordie is the greatest impersonator living today. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gordie Brown, he definitely rocked the house that night. We filled the showroom, he got a standing ovation, and I'm telling you, Gordie Brown is unbelievably talented, and he was a perfect fit for the Golden Nugget showroom.
Absolutely perfect.
Thank you for your support. We love you very, very much.
I told you. Never believed it. The best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Downtown Gordie Brown. Downtown Gordie Brown.
Come on. Let's get a deal done. Tim, you got a pen?
Here we go.
1 year. Most big deals are done on a napkin.
Yeah, I think Sinatra did it that way.
Boy, was I relieved once I saw that standing ovation at the end. The crew came together, the audience loved it, and at the end of the day, I get some of the credit, so not a bad day.
Done deal. Done deal.
Mr. Leone, there's your old school contract.
File that.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Mr. Human, Tim Foster and Tom Breitling signed your contract on a napkin right after the show. Are you kidding me? So most of the biggest Vegas contracts have been signed on napkins.
That's
so
as sacred as they come. Woo! Coming to Vegas. A lot of times, you have faith and trust in certain people. And Tom's in charge of entertainment. At the end of the day, it's his call. In this case, the guy did deliver. I mean, he's delivered a show that is second to none. It's among the very best shows in town right now.